Uh, Lord, today's show is today's show is being brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi's Jewelry. All products are lead and nickel. The products are $5 special offer for ASAP sports viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. Order now at paparazziaccessories.com. And the promo code is 160920. What's going on, everyone? This is Nate the Great coming to you live from all the ASAP Sports Network. This is ASAP Real Talk as the show. This is Big Shaw's down at the bottom, Freddy's to the left, and then we also have Chris Brown. What's going on, everyone?
What's up? Before we start, Nate, why do you have that cowboy shirt on? This is not a cowboy show. Why are you being disrespectful to this show with that cowboy shirt on, sir?
Man, Nate, tell them you want to wear whatever shirt you want to wear. You ain't being disrespectful to no show. It's people on the show that are Cowboys fans. Nate, I know I do think it's a terrible shirt.
It is a terrible shirt.
But if you want to wear the shirt, by all means, go ahead and represent that team if you want.
This is New York Giants shirt.
No, it is not. Don't ever get that. Don't. See,
So
just get a shirt that says football. That's what you need to do. Just get a shirt that says football.
as in Washington football team?
No, just a shirt that says football.
So I'm wearing this for a couple reasons. One, I live in the DFW area, so I have grown up most of my life with Denver Broncos and Dallas Cowboys fans. So therefore I have a Broncos shirt and I have a Cowboys shirt, just like I have one for all the other sports.
I can't argue with that. That makes sense.
And two, I'm wearing this because I did not expect Dallas to score, even though they lost. I did not expect Dallas to score 30 points.
I mean, the Seahawks don't have a great defense, so
True.
Dallas, if the Patriots are going to put points up on the board, the Falcons put some points on the board. I mean, everybody knows here what I think of Dallas, but at the end of the day, they have weapons. They're going to put some points up on the board.
I just think it's very disrespectful that you have this shirt on this show. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah. He the only one there. We're not going to get into it. I'm going to save my thoughts on that a little bit.
Okay. So we have the finals that are set, and the Miami Heat beat the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
They're 4-2.
Yes. Like me and Freddie predicted, by the way. Freddie, you said 6-2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I said 7, but I still got the team right. So what were your thoughts on that game? And I'm gonna give this to Freddie first.
Man, me and Chris and even Big Shaw been saying this the whole playoffs team. You have a Pat Riley who put this team together, put some dogs, put a team, together that gel with one another all year, and you drop in a Jimmy Butler in his team when you have, he can get buckets at any time. His name is Jimmy Buckets for a reason, but he can also get you on the defensive end. You have a dude by the name Tyler Hero, and I'm like Chris said also, that surprised that people are just now hearing about this man. This dude has been a stud all through high school and college, and now he's bringing it to the NBA side. And then you have a dude by Duncan Robinson. His job is to shoot, and he is a shooter. Then you have a Bam Adebayo, and this dude, this dude is a beast. He's the heart and soul of this team. He's the backbone of this team. And just, on Sunday night, he dropped 32 points. He shot 11 to 15 from the floor, gave you 14 rebounds and 5 assists. That dude was complete unstoppable. Then you have a dude by the name of an experienced dude by the name, and by the way, he knows what it takes to win an NBA championship, by the name Andre Iguodala. This dude gave you 15 points on a game to close it out. This team, from every corner you look at, they have dogs on this team. You even have a Gordon Dragic. I'm sorry, I might have messed his name up. And then you have a Jay Crowder. This team have weapons all around it. They did not make it easy for Boston. Me personally, Boston started to slow out the gate of the series. And to be honest with you, they closed them out when they needed to close them out. And I'm looking forward to Wednesday, but we'll get to that prediction in a minute.
Chris?
Yeah, I knew what it was going to be. Bam Adebayo, like Freddie said, and like I alluded to a couple of times, he's the heart and soul of this team, and he's the reason why they beat this Boston Celtics team. To me, Boston, I do not take them serious until they get a big man. You look at their big man playing is trash. I know they beat my Sixers, but Joel Embiid did whatever he wanted. And you go against Bam Adebayo, who had his career night to close out. It was easy for Bam. 11 for 15, over 30 points, career high, 14 rebounds. Daniel Theis to me isn't he isn't. I want to say he's not a good center, but personally, I think, and starting for Boston, if they had kept Al Horford or maybe a Miles Turner's or somebody, it'd be a better fit because honestly, from what I've seen with Daniel Theis in his playoffs, he cannot compete against the two best big men in the Eastern Conference. So, with that being said, I think Miami Heat and their culture, how they're gritty, they defend, they can shoot, they can cut, they play very, very good, and they got it done in Game 6 in order for them to get it done. Now, I will say this. Throughout the series, they were hit or miss. One thing's for sure is that their shooting has been terrible. I'm just going to call it what it is. Jay Crowder has been shooting bricks. Same thing with Goran Dragic. Kelly Olynyk hasn't played much because he's been shooting bad. Duncan Robinson, he's on, but when he's off, there's no reason, honestly, to have him on the court because his defense is a liability. So I think with them, I get onto this later, but just the heart and soul and the grit and the grind is going to be why they pull out a lot of these games.
Big Shaw?
Yes, sir. Pat Riley knew what he was doing when he put this team together, and it was a beat the Lakers. He put them together. Like y'all said, they got to shoot better. If you beat the Lakers, man, you gotta put your foot on the. I don't want to say naked, but you gotta put their foot somewhere. And you gotta keep it, and you gotta keep pushing. The Lakers. It's gonna be a close game. I got 7. Because if you put a nigga down on LeBron James, it's going to be good. He played him good before. You just got to watch out for AD. I think AD going to have a good game. I think he'll have a good game. And LeBron, he's going to take over, I do believe, because he got that chip on his shoulder, with the MVP snub he got, this is going to be the game here that he's going to show it out.
Yeah, no, Iggy, speaking on that, Iggy had a great game to close it out. Yes. Iggy's going to show his worth and why they went out and got him in the playoffs and in the finals. Not saying he's going to be the best performer out there, but Iggy's one of the main guys to this Miami Heat team and their run that they're making. And Jay Crowder, too. I think people, Iggy was the big name, but obviously Jay Crowder starts. And up until now, he's honestly had a very good playoff run.
Yeah.
I thought Game 7 was a really good game. I mean, yeah, the number of rebounds were kind of low. I mean, for the Celtics team, Ben Adebayo for the Heat had 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and 32 points. But you look at the Celtics team, they had 4 players who scored over 20 points that game. So it was kind of impressive just for the Celtics alone. So
you on your own with that one, Nate. Because I mean, this what I would say. Marcus Smart's not known for a score. I'm glad that he can put some buckets up on the board, but Marcus Smart's not known for being a scorer.
No.
Kemba Walker and Jaylen Brown, they had a lot of inconsistent games throughout the playoffs. They played good in Game 6, but where was that at Game 1, Game 2, all the other games? Jason Tatum. Yeah, Jason Tatum, he had a terrible Game 6, 34% from the field, 30% from the three-point line. If people are going to say he's the best Eastern Conference player, he needs to show that in a closeout game. So you can say it's impressive, but it's not impressive to me.
I was referring to Game 7 alone. I wasn't referring to the rest of
Game 6.
I know, and in Game 6 alone, I mean,
Game 6, sorry.
Jason Tatum shot 34% from the field, and Marcus Smart shot 36% from the field. Shot 46 from the field, and they all shot 30% from the three-point line or more than 10 attempts. So you want to have a lot of points when you put up a lot of shots. Their shooting percentage wasn't good. So for me personally, I understand you may look and say they have 20 points, but if you're not shooting the ball good, that 20 points is really inefficient. So I understand what you say, having 20 points between 4 guys is good and all, but Marcus Smart's not honestly supposed to be there. And the fact that he had to take that many shots and miss 7 3-pointers, so did Jimmy Butler, so did Kemba Walker. That's 21 missed 3-pointers between 21 plus, honestly, because one of them, I think it was Kemba Walker, or went 3 for 13. So you got over 21 missed 3-pointers from 3 guys. That's not impressive to me at all. That's disappointment and embarrassing to me.
And me personally, if you're a dude by the name Kemba Walker, and you're replacing a dude by the name of Kyrie Irving, we don't expect you to be Kyrie Irving, but we know you're a lesser version of him. But
Kemba Walker, I won't say he's a lesser version. Kemba Walker is Kemba Walker. He's a walking bucket, but in the playoffs, he just didn't show it. I'm not going to call him a lesser version of somebody else because he's his own player with his own game. But I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be a guy, and like I said, and like we both agreed and talked about, he didn't play up to it a lot of big games in the playoffs.
Yeah, I expect him to get more and more buckets than 20 points in the closeout game.
Yeah,
that's me personally. And Jason,
the closeout game, you gotta show up.
And like you said, Jason, 24 points. Really, give us more than that. We needed about 40 points from out of that dude on the closeout game.
It's not even the point scored because 24 points would have been fine if he didn't have to take 26 shots and 10 3-pointers to get it. You feel what I'm saying? If he'd had 24 points and everybody would have shot efficient because they were doubling a lot, they were in the zone, so he was being a little bit of a playmaker. I mean, he had 11 assists, so and 7 rebounds. So the 24 points for me isn't bad, but it's the amount of shots that they all had to take to get those points, which is a turnoff. You know, obviously you want that main guy scoring a lot of points, but with the 11 assists in that zone defense, if he would have shot the ball well from the field and everybody else, I think it's a different story. But we're saying the same thing, though, basically. You need to do more. The 24 points isn't bad, but when you had to shoot 26 times to get it, that's terrible.
Bad shooting.
I mean, I think all of us are saying that they needed to do more because, well, they lost
and they were overhyped too. People overhyped this team, in my opinion. Like you need certain things to be able to win games, especially in the playoffs. You need good big man play. I'm just going to call it what it is. I can't think of a team that won a championship that didn't have some good big man play. And this Celtics team, to me, I feel like Enes Kanter should have played a lot more. I'm not going to say he's unguardable, but especially coming off that bench for the Heat, Miami Heat really going to put on him. If they were playing the zone a lot, you need somebody down low that can help break that zone. You know, I'm not going to say Theis is a bad center. Just personally, I think he was ineffective, especially in the big game, especially when you got to look at the 2 best centers in the Eastern Conference, giving him buckets, giving him whatever. They were doing whatever. So I feel like Enes Kanter should have played a lot more because at least he's somebody on offense off the bench that could have been consistent 14 points. And when he played, he was very, very good. He helped break the zone. That's another reason why the Celtics won. He was a guy that can break the zone. I mean, that's another reason why Miami won, that zone defense. But Enes Kanter was somebody that can break the zone. So to me, I think they were overhyped going into this playoffs. And people are saying they were the best coming out the East. I didn't think so. They would say they were the best team, one of the best teams in winning the championship. I personally didn't think so. So how they finished is how I expected.
So moving on, we're talking about the final game of the Nuggets and the Lakers. I'm gonna give this
no,
Big
sir.
Shaw.
No. You, sir,
need some humble pie. Bring it up.
I did on the last show.
Well, you need to eat it on the main show.
Yeah, you gotta do it again.
I ate 7 of these cookies on the other show.
He needs to eat the whole pack, Freddie, because he said the Nuggets are 7, and they got lucky with a gentleman's sweep. Now I would save my take for my take, but eat some of them Oreo cookies, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I save my take for my turn.
Yeah, man. I watched that game. I was waiting for LeBron James to take over. LeBron is a man, bro. That's all I can tell you. The Lakers, they did their thing. It's not over yet, but it's really nothing I can say, man. The Lakers, they took it from him. But I will say this about LeBron James. At the end of the game, him and Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray? He was coaching them right there. So they tell you LeBron, he knew he played a good game, Jamal, Murray, he did pretty good. The Nuggets, they didn't give up though. They kept on going, they kept playing.
Yeah.
The fight up. Jamal Murray, he's a great player, and I think he's gonna continue to improve his game. But LeBron James and AD, and the rest of the guys that showed up, they was hungry, took it, and they're gonna play Miami. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a scratch. It's gonna be all over the place come Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Is it my turn?
I think
No,
so.
Chris's.
I think Chris want to go last.
Yeah, I'll go last because Freddie's going to
Okay.
be Freddie's going to be the ultra Laker guy, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be the real one and put everything into perspective. So let Freddie go so he can be the ultra Laker guy.
All right. First of all, Nate, Mr. James, LeBron James gave me a phone call. He told me to tell you stop doubting him. He said he's tired of people doubting him. He said that everybody needs to give him his props, that he's the man, he's the king. What did that last game show me is that
Wait, before you get into that, does that phone call applies to you? Because if I'm not mistaken, you said he wasn't playing good enough. That's you not giving him his props.
No, Chris. What I said, I didn't say that. Put words in my mouth, sir. What I said was that he listened. It told him he needed to be more aggressive. 20 points was not going to get. He needed to be more
30. He had 30, but
yeah. All right, now listen. Let me tell my take on this, sir.
go ahead, my friend.
All right. He told me to let everybody know to stop doubting him. Aren't y'all tired of doubting this man? Aren't you tired of saying what this man can't do? Even he's underdog, and guess what? It never surprises me. This dude always elevates his game to the fullest. And you know what? Everybody's talking about Kawhi Leonard's the best player in the game. LeBron James showed y'all in the fourth quarter that he's still the man. And so I believe it's like the last 6 possessions, he scored on it. And when we had a Kawhi Leonard who shot the ball horrible in the fourth quarter.
Say how bad he shot. 6 for what? 6 for 22.
Who's that?
Kawhi.
Yeah,
Kawhi. You tell him how bad Kawhi shot now. Don't just say he shot bad. Tell him how bad he shot.
Yeah.
Let me save it for I'm sorry. But I'm disagreeing with you right now.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with a lot of things you're saying too.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Get out of here. Go ahead, Freddie, so I can wrap it up, man.
Kawhi Leonard was just horrible. But LeBron James, he stepped to the plane and he said, and he showed us why we call him the king. I give all respect to the Nuggets. They're a good team. They're a good young team. But guess what? At the end of the day, LeBron did something that we didn't see Kawhi do. He said, okay, Rondo, okay, KCP, Danny Green, get off of Murray. Let me guard Murray. The best player guarded the best player at the moment because Joker at the time, he was tired and he was really not effective when it came to the fourth quarter. But when Jamal Murray tried to go on his little run, LeBron James said, get out the way. I'm guarding him. And guess what? He went scoreless. He blocked a couple of shots, and the dude cannot score on LeBron James. That's something that Kawhi Leonard didn't do, by the way. Then I'm going to give you a little stat line of what Mr. James did on last game before I let Chris go. Mm-hmm. He played 40 minutes. I love that, man. It's a closeout game. It ain't trying to play no regular minutes. It's a closeout game. Show me how bad you want it. He gave us 38 points. Woo! 38 points, almost from a 40-piece triple-double. He gave you 16 rebounds. An old man. They say he's old. 35 years old. 17 years in the league and had more rebounds than Anthony Davis. Let that sink in your mind real quick. He had more rebounds than Anthony Davis. That's crazy. Then on top of that, on top of scoring and rebounding and playing defense, he found a way to give us 10 assists. I mean, this dude was a beast. Anthony Davis did his thing. The whole Rondo did his thing, and they elevated to the occasion. I'm just ready for the next round. All right, Chris, buddy.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
You go, and then I'm going to go because it's going to lead into the topic.
Okay, so this was a great game, but let me just address Freddie on some things before I give my spiel. You realize, Freddie, you said LeBron didn't shoot enough the game before, but you realize in this game he only shot the ball 2 more times. The difference was The difference was that they actually called fouls this game because he got 8 free throws. So don't go sit up here and say LeBron. He played the same way. He just got to the free throw line this game. Literally, shot 1 for 4 last game. Shot 1 for 4 this game. Only shot 2 more shots. But with that being said, all LeBron did was just prove why he's the best player in the league. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, they say he's better than him. In that closeout game, first of all, he played 3 closeout games. The first 2 he honestly played good. But in the game 7 one, He shot 6 for 22. That's embarrassing. That's you know what I'm saying. That's outright embarrassing. Now LeBron. At the end of the game, LeBron didn't go passive mode. He didn't go. I want to get everybody involved. He said, "Listen, I'm about to just take over right here." People say, you know, it kills me when people say LeBron doesn't have a killer instinct. Yeah, he's third all time in career points. I don't understand how y'all call him a passive type of guy. Yeah, he gets all these points. He scored 38 then out the night. I think that was great. I think this Lakers team played great. And when I look at the Nuggets, man, what I said was true. Jokic is a sloppy defender. He's undisciplined and he's lazy. So that's why he has 5 fouls. They bait him to get offensive fouls because he does the same moves. You know, when you're lazy like that on the defensive end, he gets those cheap fouls. And then when you try to force your way because you're mad on the defensive end, what's happening on offense, you're going to get some offensive fouls. So Jokic was ineffective because he couldn't stay on the court. The Lakers had a game plan and executed perfectly. Jamal Murray, big shout out to Jamal Murray. Listen, this man, he gave everything he could. You know, I understand LeBron has some great defense on him, but Jamal Murray is probably playing at 60%, 70%. Leg all messed up. Leg was messed up coming into the bubble. You know, still never got a chance to get fully healthy, and he's playing 40-something minutes, giving everything he can. So big shout out to Jamal Murray. But with that being said, this Lakers team was better. They showed why they were better. You know, Big Shaw's X factor and Dwight Howard. Man, Dwight played great. Got into their head, had 9 rebounds, had 9 points in 35 minutes. You know, plus minus the plus 12. He was very, very effective. Then my guy Rondo, you know he brings on the defensive end. You know he brings on the offensive end. I like to see the big shots I saw from Caruso. At one point, he had 8 points in the first quarter. That was a big help. AD had 27. AD, in my opinion, is playing at about 80% right now. No excuses, you know, but he still gave me 27. This was a very, very great game. Came down to the fourth quarter like every game, but when you have the king of LeBron James, who's the most durable guy in the league, even though he has some twisted up ankles, and it's crazy to say, in year 17, he was the more healthier guy out of everybody on the court, and he was the best player. And he completely showed it, and he completely dominated in game 6. Or was that game 5? My fault. Completely dominated in game 5. So the Lakers were the better team. They won the series, but you know, big shout outs to the Denver Nuggets because they played the best they can. They had big contributions from Grant. You know, he's getting paid. Y'all realize he's a free agent. He's going to get paid. You know, whether the Nuggets keep him, and you know, I'm gonna just touch on this briefly. If I'm the Nuggets, I keep him. And the one thing that they're missing, I'm gonna just throw a guy out there, DeMar DeRozan. You put DeMar DeRozan on this Nuggets team, he's that missing piece. He's that guard that can go out and get his own bucket. You got DeMar DeRozan, MPJ, Grant, Jokic, Jamal Murray. This team is a team to beat. But you know, big shout out to the squad. They played very, very good. It was just a great game all around, man. I loved it. And I love to see the King do what the King does. Took over and showed why he's the greatest player of all time and the best player in the league.
That's right.
Excuse me, everybody. We have a dude that is making his first appearance. It's kind of dark where he's at right now, but hopefully he'll get some light pretty soon.
You have to pardon me. It's my anniversary nuptials, so that's why I start, because I don't want you seeing the wife's unmentionables. Having said that, I hear this man still preaching LeBron James. Anthony Davis did a hell of a good job. Are you still on Anthony or LeBron James's jockstrap? Let that man have a breather.
Who's that talking? Who you talking to? Me, Chris, Big Shaw, and Nate? Which one? Put a name on it.
No, it's you, Freddie.
You think I know I'm talking to Freddie.
Everybody know you're the only one that didn't. You just talked about LeBron. When I said I shout out everybody. Everybody know he was talking to you, Freddie.
But I'm just saying the reason why we won. I mean, I'm not taking credit away from the others, but we all know the reason why we won. That's because LeBron James showed us why he's not Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
That's all.
Man. He always talk about Bron. Listen, I understand. Look, Jokic, he did a good job. But listen, guys, that was Denver. And Fred did kind of say at the beginning, okay, Utah, Clipper. Okay, now you about to go up against Miami. Adebayo ain't no joke now. And these people are scrappy. I think that the Lakers, and I told you before, the Lakers are going to look past Adebayo. They're going to look past Miami.
Oh no, they're
Hey,
not.
Freddie, you may have a cup of tea on this one.
No.
You didn't see their reaction. LeBron was sitting there not celebrating because he knew he had games left. He not taking his Miami Heat team lightly. He knows what they have. He's been in that culture. He know they can win any single game. LeBron not taking Heat lightly. They're
He
not
don't
taking
nobody
Bam Adebayo lightly. He been dominating this entire playoffs. They're not going to overlook that. Dominating in the playoffs is dominating the playoffs.
So,
Once they destroy the Bucks, more people put more respect on their name. The Lakers are going to take them completely serious, and that's my thought on it. They're not
Yeah, that's not-
overlooking that team. You don't overlook anybody in the finals.
Door. I opened the door. I had already opened it.
Hey Nate, matter of fact, let's go ahead and start on that. Let's go ahead and jump to that topic with the finals preview.
okay, so we have the Lakers, and then we have the Miami Heat in the finals.
Right.
I have the Lakers in this one in 6 if they are completely healthy. If LeBron James is out, or if Anthony Davis is out, I have Miami in 6.
We're not missing no games.
Yeah, LeBron's the most durable player to ever play in the game. He's not being out, and
Yeah, he's not. But Anthony Davis was. He shouldn't have played, even though he played.
You can say the same thing about Miami. Bam Adebayo is battling through injuries right now. Miami, he got some people that's banged up, so you gotta say that both ways now. You can't say the Lakers, but if they stay healthy, because the Heat have to stay healthy too. So you can't say if they're healthy. Who do you have winning? That's the question. The Lakers or the Heat?
Lakers most likely.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here you go.
The most likely stuff, man. That's not a real answer, Nate.
Most likely. I don't want to hear.
I want to hear who do you have winning, not a most likely. Who's going to win in your eyes?
He got Miami.
Lakers. Okay. Who's next? Who's going to take it?
Okay,
Next?
I'm gonna give this to. I'm gonna give this to Big Shot because I know you three are probably going to rant up about it.
I'm not going to rant. My answer is going to be short and simple.
Big Shot.
It's gonna be short and sweet to the point. The Lakers gonna win this series in 7. It's gonna be a fight,
Yeah.
but the Lakers gonna win this in 7. And LeBron James, he gonna do what he do. He gonna show up and he gonna show out and do his thing.
All right, who next, Nate? Let's
Who next, Nate?
go.
Okay, Chris.
So as a fan, I want to see this go 7, but realistically, I'd say 6 or 7. Do not take the Miami Heat lightly. Neither do I think the Lakers team. When I look at Miami, they match up well, but my problem and why I don't see them winning this game is they haven't been shooting the ball well. And this Lakers team is the best defensive team they saw this entire playoff. They're better than the Celtics when it comes to defense because, one, their paint defense is 25 times better, and they have better perimeter defenders. So with the Miami Heat, I think if they struggle shooting, they're going to struggle entirely. When I look at the Lakers, this Miami team is also a great defensive team, but who's really going to stop the two big men? If you have Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis in there, if you put Bam on AD, who's going to hold Dwight? You say Jay Crowder, but I don't think that's realistically going to happen. So if you put Jay Crowder on AD, I know Jay Crowder's a dog, and believe me, I respect dogs, but we all know the outcome of that. So I think Miami Heat is going to have to figure out what line works best for them. Same thing with LA if they want to go small like they did with the Houston Rockets and have AD at the 5, even though that's not really small ball. But if you want to take a true center out the lineup, put AD at the 5, then they can do that. Or if they want to put a whole bunch of bigs out there, they can do that. With the versatility that Los Angeles Lakers have, with the best 1-2 punch in the game, with the best player in the game, they have the two best players in this series on their team. I think they're going to go out and win this thing in 7, maybe 6. I wanted to go 7, but all in all, I have the Lakers winning this series. It's going to be close. It's going to be scrappy. I don't think there's going to be no blowouts. this Miami Heat team is a team full of dogs. It's going to come down to who's going to turn the ball over less, who wins the rebounding battle, and then who also gets to the line more and shoots the 3-point shot better, because they've both been struggling. So which team is going to find their shot in the finals? That's a big question that we need to see answered.
Next matchup. I'm gonna give this to before I give this to Freddie. Before I give this, I'm gonna give this. Jay, just go. Stumbling on words there.
No,
Can't
you
hear you,
good.
man.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me now?
Yes, sir.
That's right. You hear me? What question you got for me now, Big Nate?
Who do you have in the finals winning it?
Oh man, okay. The unbiased side of me is going to be Lakers, but I would love to see Miami pull it out, and I do think Miami has a chance. But
Oh yes,
I do
agree
think
with
that
Yeah,
the heavy
I-
favorites are going to be LA.
you. I agree with that. The people that say Miami don't have a chance, I think they're just fools. Miami by far has a chance. They match up very, very well when you got a team full of dogs like that and shooters. You can get high at any time. Like I said, I picked the Lakers, but I do believe Miami can stretch this thing out to 7. And if it gets to 7,
definitely.
anybody can win. Anybody can win in Game 7.
What I was trying to say before we had this give this to Freddie, I want Miami to win this one. Even though I had the Lakers, I want Miami to win this one.
So then why are you picking the Lakers? You might as well just
Who
say
I
the
think
Heat
is
then.
going to win. Who I think is going to win.
But if you want a team to win, then listen. When the Sixers went against the Celtics with Ben Simmons hurt, I wanted the Sixers to win, and I picked them to win, and they still lost. If you want the Heat to win, and you think the you think the Lakers are going to win, just say the Heat. I had a feeling that the Celtics was going to be my Sixers, but I wanted the Sixers to win, so I picked the Sixers to win. You can't switch that up like that, Nate.
You're
not
saying
switching it up.
you got
I'm
to
not
put
switching
your
it up.
cojones behind your decision.
Yeah, you gotta put
Let's
you gotta stamp it.
Behind it.
Yeah, because
Heat
what's
is
going to happen is if the Heat win, you're going to say I told you so.
No,
When
I
the
know. Hey,
Lakers
listen,
win,
hold on, guys. Hold
you
on a
got to
minute.
pick one.
No.
Nate has eaten some humble pie, and he just don't want to eat no more.
That's
He
what
done
it
ate
is.
enough.
He don't
No,
eat
no.
more pie.
He's
He's like Deion Waiters. He's going to get the victory
The
regardless.
Lakers is who I think will win.
Can I
I
go?
still think Nate's ate a lot of humble pie, and he
Yeah.
just don't want to eat no more.
Can I go now? I've been waiting to go.
Yes, you can go.
But before I put my pick off, I want to congratulate all the Laker fans here. I'm talking about the true Laker fans. When you was riding around with a team like this, congratulate you guys. When we had a team where we were sorry winning 17 games a season,
That's actually a good spot up there, though. But
26 games one season. I want to congratulate all the real Laker fans for riding strong with our team. But let's get into the tape. This Miami team is for real. You got a dude Pat Riley to put a team together, a bunch of dogs. Like I said before, Jimmy Butlers, Jay Crowder, Tyler Hero,
say Eric Spoelstra. You got to put
Yeah,
respect on Eric Spoelstra.
he's a good coach, by the way.
Great coach. Great.
He's one of the elite coaches of this game. Then you have Andre Iguodala. This team is loaded. But let's not forget who they're going against, man. They're going against the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James knows what's on his shoulder. He knows what time it is. This is probably his best chance to win a championship. You have a dude and his sidekick is really not a sidekick. His teammate is Anthony freaking Davis, who can give you 30 and 12 in his night, 2 or 3 blocks a night. Then you have playoff Rondo. Playoff Rondo is real, folks. This dude will give you about 10, 11 points and about 10 assists and like 5 or 6 rebounds, almost giving you a triple-double. Then you have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who's going to be knocking down wide open threes. I don't know about Danny Green. He's hitting this. Then you have Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, who's going to clog up the paint. Yes, I like Bam. But guess who's going to be guarding Bam? Anthony Davis. And I guarantee you, Anthony Davis, I know Nate want to bring up a little injuries. He's going to be healthy. These couple of days off is going to help him heal that ankle. So, this...
First of all, JaVale McGee has been damn near absentee balloted. So has, for the most part, even Dwight Howard.
No, not Dwight.
Did you
Not
see
Dwight.
Dwight been there a little bit, but he ain't
So-
been.
Dwight
So-
put up 2 double-doubles against the
This is
Nuggets.
all AD and Braun with a little bit of Kentavious Pope and a little bit of
If
Kuzma.
Dwight Howard didn't do what we did the last series, we would not beat them in 5. I guarantee you.
Same thing with Ron.
Man.
So
Yeah.
But I need to tell you how we're going to beat, how many games it's going to take. We're going to do it in 5. We're going to put them to sleep early because LeBron James, they're going to respect this team. We're going
I had y'all at 6.
we go.
Wait, I got a question. How do you give respect to this team, and then say that they're going to lose so easily. So this is where this is where the delusional Freddie comes into play. Now, if
shots are fired,
if they win in 5, I
He is
can't
the one
because I have them winning. But the fact that you have them beating this team in 5 is ridiculous. This Miami has been balling.
Hey, I think Freddie's forgetting about one player.
Listen, what am I eating humble pie for? You said they're going to win in 5.
Not you,
they're winning
Freddie.
the first round in 4, the second round in 5, the third round in 6. Don't act like this team was struggling to get to where they are. They've been completely dominant. So the fact that they match up with the Lakers, then you're going to say they're going to beat the Lakers in 5. How you going to give credit to this team? Praise them like that.
I didn't think we can beat in 5. Who are you talking to, Miracle Lake?
I'm talking to you, Freddie Henderson.
I said the Lakers. He winning in 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How you going to say the Lakers going to beat the Heat in 5, but you get great team overlook them?
You know why?
Why?
Because LeBron James, Anthony Davis, they're not going to sleep on this Heat team. You let this team breathe, they can beat the Lakers. They are not going to let them breathe. They are going to go in there mad. They're going to come in there with the mindset to dominate. And that's what I
say right now, though.
You can do that and
see what
still
Herro
lose
does
2
against
games.
the Lakers.
Like,
That's what I want to see.
They
I want to see
match up.
Herro against the Lakers.
you want to see who?
37 points. I think he can do it. I think you're gonna look past Herro off the bench.
No, I'm not looking past them, but when he's going to have to go up against Rondo. Not saying Rondo's going to completely shut him down, but I think Rondo's going to be a pest on him. For my thing, I think Hero is going to be a big part. I want to see what Duncan Robinson's going to do. I want to see those shooters going to do because they've been shooting bad. So I think they have to step up. We know what Hero, Dragic, Butler, and Bam are going to bring, but what are the Jay Crowders, the Duncan Robinsons, the Iggy want to bring? That's my question.
Let's not forget that KCP, even Danny Green are really good perimeter defenders. Let's not forget that as well.
Nobody's forgetting it, but you have them winning in 5. I think you out your mind by saying
No. When they win in 5, I come on this show. I want you to eat humble pie, sir.
But what am I eating humble pie for if I pick the Lakers to win?
You don't that dominant to finish them out. You don't believe that what, Nate?
I don't believe that they're going to go out and dominate this Heat team. Yes, winning in 5 means you're completely dominating it. I don't think they're going to dominate against this Heat team that match up well at every single position.
What was the record in the season, Chris?
You tell me. I'm not a Lakers fan, so why would I care about their record?
We beat them both. They beat us once.
Okay.
We played one time without Anthony Davis, and we still beat them.
Hey, Freddie, I think what he's saying is, look,
Did you have Iggy and Jay Crowder when you went against them? Answer that. Just tell me. Did you have Iggy and Jay Crowder when you played them? Did they have Iggy and Jay Crowder?
It doesn't make that much of a difference where they can beat them.
Are you out your mind? See, this is why I call you a delusional fan. Because no, I'm talking. I'm talking. It's my turn. I got the mic. Listen, how are you going to give praise to Iggy? Say, oh, he's this veteran. He's this, he's that. Give praise to Jay Crowder. Call him a dog. Say this, that. Then say that trade doesn't matter. Is irrelevant. Like you're such of a delusional fan. It makes no. I don't want to speak on this topic no more because you're the biggest delusional Lakers fan I ever met. Family members that are Lakers fans.
You out on it too.
Let's move on.
Freddie, he giving you mad disrespect.
You can book that.
I had the Lakers winning. So if they win in 5, I'm not going to be tripping. I had the Lakers winning.
You need to because I called it.
What do I got a trip for when I had the team winning? That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
Let's move on.
It ain't going to no 5.
Nate is ready to go on.
Okay. The next question is actually a Lakers question, so I'm going to skip that from now. I'm kidding. So I'm going to give this to Big Shaw first. Is Anthony Davis the best LeBron James? Is the best teammate that LeBron James has ever had?
I'm going to say no. It's a lot of great teammates LeBron James had. And I'm going to say this guy's name. I'm going to say James Jones. The LeBron James, before the saying this, it was his favorite all-time teammate.
Yes, sir.
And I can pull that interview up. That came out of his mouth. And he wanted him to go to Cleveland with him too, and he went.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with James Jones. That came out of LeBron James' mouth. His favorite teammate of all time. Came out of his mouth.
We're not talking about the favorite teammate. We're talking about the best teammate.
I think that's his best teammate right now, James Jones.
That's why I love you, Big Shaw. You get the takes that
I'm
nobody.
going with James Jones.
And ain't
Take him
nobody
out
gonna
his
change
mouth.
his mind. Can I go next? Nick?
Oh man,
Actually, I'll go next. I actually agree with Big Shaw's pick. I think it is James Jones. Really because of that comment.
Where? All right, now it's my turn. Can I go now?
Yes.
Now y'all tell mine. No disrespect to James Jones, but the question was who's the best one. So I'm going to answer it how the question was believed to be answered. Now I will say this. I don't think so. You know, if he wins the ring with him this year, then you can make the argument. But I believe a prime Dwayne Wade with the LeBron. We didn't get a chance to see prime D Wade with LeBron. By far, if you'd have saw a prime D Wade with LeBron, it would be D Wade, no question asked. Kyrie,
I definitely agree with that.
so you know the fact that we didn't see prime D Wade, then it's probably, and since you know AD is only on the up and up, then he's probably going to go down as you know his best teammate. But D Wade has two of them things with LeBron. AD doesn't have one yet, so I can't give it to him. Talent wise, though, they're all very, very talented. AD, you know, and Kyrie were the only two that kind of in their prime. They got to play with LeBron. They balled out. But in my opinion, a prime D Wade would have been head and shoulders in front of any single teammate LeBron had on who's the best teammate. And also, if he'd have played with prime Shaq, but he didn't get a chance to play with prime. He didn't play with prime Shaq. But if you're talking about the guys he won a ring with, then I'm giving it to Dwayne Wade. And that's no disrespect to AD, but D Wade got two of them things. And just imagine the prime D Wade and LeBron played together. They'd be. I'm not even gonna say it, but y'all know.
That'd be bad, man.
Y'all know.
That'd be bad.
Okay.
who me?
No. Jay.
Yeah, you know, I remember those Heat days, and I remember when they had Bosch and Wade. The problem is he did, like Chris Brown said, he kind of got Wade at the end of his career, and so he couldn't stay healthy. And he kind of got Bosch at a rough time. But you know, they had a lot of injuries. That team. If that team hadn't had injuries, how many more championships do you think they really could have got?
A lot.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you got one good teammate with Anthony Davis. Not taking anything away from AD. But man, Wade, the way he could do in the relationship that he had with Braun, and you throw in Chris Bosh, and Spoelstra was a damn good ass coach. Come on, man. Hey, them dudes could have tore it up for a while.
Yes, sir. I believe if, like I'm saying, if him and D Wade would have hooked up in D Wade and Prime before them knee injuries, and he wasn't, you know, he was still had a great career, but everybody know he wasn't the same D Wade he was when he was in his prime. If them two would have been together in their prime, I think when you talk about dominant duos, they already a dominant one, but I think they would have won a lot more than two. That's all I'm going to say with that one.
I mean, hell, that shows you how good that shows you how good Braun was back that day because he's got AD and they're doing well, you know, whatever. But man, Braun when he was with Heat, he damn near almost put the whole team on his back and was still doing it.
Yes, sir.
Better really than when he's doing it even now. Of course, he's 35, but. That was a bad man back then. I can't take that away from Braun. Braun was just good by himself. I mean, anybody else was just a pure role player, and as long as they fit their role around Braun, then that was a good teammate for him.
So before we give this to Freddie, I really want to say one comment. I do agree with you guys about Anthony Davis, simply because they only Anthony has not played one season with LeBron, one full season. Excuse me. With LeBron yet. That's why I'm not including Anthony Davis in this. Freddie.
All of us agree it's Dwayne Wade, but I'm gonna point out my reasonings why. Dwayne Wade was a bad man. This dude will probably go down as the third best shooting guard of all time.
He is not probably. I'm sorry, he is the third best shooting guard of all time. But carry on.
Mr. Harden, he is making it kind of.
No.
He is. I mean,
no.
Dwayne is not never put up the points like James Harden put up, Chris.
I was about to say the same thing. Even D Wade has put a collection of 40-point games that Harden's put together.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take this away from D Wade, but no, I'm gonna step in. Harden's a bad man.
I'm not taking nothing away from Harden.
A pure shooting guard, a guy with a pure shooting touch. Oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
You know, 13 Chris, because James Harden never played with a LeBron James. With a LeBron James or Chris Bosh. He never played with Shaq. He never played with them guys. So I don't think
Are you forgetting how dominant? All right, let's talk about this off there. Freddie, finish your statement. I don't want to go on the tangent.
But let me continue. I'm saying, Jay McLevin, you about to respect it where I'm coming with this. You know, we talk about the GOAT discussion, and you know, this is probably what a lot of people have an edge of Michael Jordan being greater than LeBron James is because Michael Jordan came in the league.
Yeah.
He came with the winning mindset. He
didn't win nothing.
Oh, here we go.
The
dog
Wait a minute.
mindset. LeBron had to learn how to win. When he went to Miami, Dwayne Wade taught him how to win. And don't act like he didn't, because we seen Dwayne Wade carry the team. But Dwayne Wade told LeBron, if we're going to win, it has to go through you. He taught LeBron how to win. He taught him how to close games. What, Nate?
So I was just going to say, Freddie, finish your statement, and then let's move on to the next topic because it's 47 minutes, and we are.
Hey, we got plenty of time tonight, baby. I think we got plenty of time. Let's roll. We got Jay McLevin on here. We got Big Show on here. We got Chris Brown on here. It's about to get heated. Yes,
Brown's about to have an aneurysm.
yes. Wade taught LeBron James how to win. Let's call a spade a spade. Before LeBron went to Cleveland, to Miami, he could not win. And yes, I understand he had a lack of talent, but guess what? At the end of the day, this dude taught LeBron how to win. Because at the end of the day, at times, Dwayne Wade was the greatest closer.
Say this. When Jordan came in the league and went to the Bulls initially, back in 89, I believe it was, he had a lack of talent. He had a lack of talent, and he developed the talent along with Phil Jackson, and they got to a winning championship.
And that team put down around him too, though.
Brian left.
His GM, but the GM for the Bulls put talent around him. Let's not act like that GM for the Bulls didn't do.
But we're not gonna put up talent because Jackson play with talent too, Chris.
So when his first stint in the Cleveland Cavaliers, when he took the worst team in the NBA,
let's
get into it because you say he had to learn how to win.
He
said Jordan learned how to win.
I'm talking about his career.
Yeah, Jordan GM put talent around him, he still had to learn how to win. I understand that, but his GM put talent around him. LeBron had to do that by himself, so he's going through the struggles. He's learning, but at the end of the day, when you have a GM that doesn't care about putting no talent around you, you're not going to win. I'm sorry. They went out, they drafted the Scotty, they got a Horace Grant, they got all the point guards, they went and got a head coach, they went and they got more role players. The Cleveland Cavaliers did none of that for LeBron. So, you know what I'm saying? To me, your argument right now.
Wait a minute. Now, they did get Kevin Love. They did bring in
Kyrie Irving. The first time. But Freddie said he had to go to Miami.
Overall.
When you started, you said he had to go to Miami to win.
He played with better teammates than Michael Jordan in his career. We all can agree on that.
I think what he's saying is that Braun didn't wait long enough for Cleveland to build it around him. He just said hell with it and bolted out of there.
He didn't
know how to win before until he went to Miami.
How long did Kobe stay around with LA when they couldn't bring anybody in there to play alongside him? And they went a lot of losing seasons. They had their winning moments.
Well,
they went a lot of losing seasons. Even Kobe didn't bounce to go to somebody else because Kobe had loyalty.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Kobe played 4 years before he won the championship.
Everybody don't have the heart like Kobe do, though. That's the thing. They don't have the mentality.
Let's talk about this, please. Kobe played 4 years with them, right? Then what happened? And they had Shaq they got Shaq before Kobe, so they was around the same time. They played 4 years, didn't win anything. They didn't win 3 straight. They went to 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. LeBron was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They made no real attempt to surround him with any great talent.
Hey, I think this should be a part 2 series because they probably
I'm going all day with this.
Let's make this a part 2.
We're gonna have to because.
So what's your point about Kobe though? That's what I'm trying to see, Chris.
So, Kobe won first.
To be continued, part 2.
But it does not matter. Kobe stuck through it because everybody knew he was trying to get 6 championships. He stayed the ride. He didn't run. He didn't hide.
So how did he hide when his team? Can we please make this a part 2 because I'm about to leave.
Already.
Yo, he literally had no talent around him for 7 years. Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Why not make that? He did when he left. That team went from the best team because of him to the worst team, one of the all-time worst.
Why did he leave the first time? He did not know how to lead.
Told you why. They didn't do nothing to surround him with talent.
You get better. You get the teammates around you better.
He did it for. He took them to the finals. Hold on. He took them to the finals. Please tell me a team that Kobe took to a finals by himself. Please tell me a team that Jordan took to a finals by himself. So don't say he didn't get them better. Do not say he didn't get them better. He got them better. You make
What are you talking about? Name me one other superstar on that Lakers team. I believe it was
going to go down as a Hall of Famer.
Let's move on.
Brian Artest was better than anybody that
please.
with his first Andrew Bynum was a better center than any Cleveland Cavalier had. Derek Fisher was better than any single point guard LeBron had. What are you talking about? You ain't making no sense.
Guys,
Step in here, man.
He didn't have no other superstar beside him like a Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh. I don't want to hear.
Talking about the first time, Freddie. You keep talking about Miami. Me and you, I was talking about the first time. You keep switching over to Miami. I said the first time, but every time I make sense, you want to keep talking about Miami. No, I'm talking about his first time with the Cavaliers.
Man, they're trying to get us to pause, man.
Guys, okay.
We got time. We don't got no time limit. We got time now.
You do got time. So I'm trying to say.
Let's okay.
A thriller from Manila. A thriller from Manila. Rumble in the jungle.
Is the Seahawks team a team to make it? Can you see them making it to the Super Bowl?
Who's starting off?
I'm gonna give this to Jay.
Can I take it first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, absolutely, man. Hey, look, these Seahawks, Russell Wilson, hey, that dude ain't no joke. Russell Wilson, hey, their defense, that's the only real area. Their secondary is the only real area where I think they really got to work on. But this team, they're locked and loaded, man. And Pete Carroll, they've been there. Russell's been there before. And these guys are playing hot right now. I'm a Cowboys guy. We all know that. Mm-hmm. But these Seahawks, they did handle my boys. Hey, it is what it is. But I do think they're a playoff-worthy team. I mean, they're going to have to go through Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to be there at the end. But I think it's going to be a good series, and I think those two will match up quite well.
So I'm gonna go first. I think the Seahawks are going to make it to the playoffs. No doubt about it. I think they're going to win the division. No doubt about it. I think they're going to be stopped by one team, the Green Bay Packers. Chris.
I think this team, they can definitely make it to the Super Bowl. But like my good friend McLovin said, that defense is holding them back right now. And, he said the secondary, but for me, they need to find some pass rushers. It's both. It's both the secondary. But in my opinion, going against all these great quarterbacks, you're going to need some pass rushers. And with Bruce Irvin tearing his ACL, they really have no guy that sticks out to become a dominant pass rusher. So I think if somehow they can find that, whether that's via trade, sign to somebody or somebody steps up, you get that, and then you get some healthy D-backs because their D-backs are all injured. Oh, this team can legit make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, this is the first year we're going to see Russell Wilson actually throw that thing. Russell Wilson has always –
question. Hey, do you think, though, speaking of edge rushers like you're talking about, do you think that Seattle made a mistake by not going after Edgerrin Griffin or bringing back to Davian Clowney? Do you think that was a big mistake on their part?
I think it was a huge mistake because every good team, every Super Bowl team, they have a couple of things. But one thing that all great teams has is a dominant pass rusher. You look at the team, they had Chris Jones and they had a guy, I can't think of his name right now. Is it D Ford? No, it's not D Ford. But y'all know what I'm saying. They had two very good pass rushers. You look at the 49ers, they had a whole bunch of pass rushers. That was a big mistake by Jadeveon Walk, and even not going after Griffin. It was some other guys that honestly they could have went after, but they still didn't do it. I think that's going to come back to haunt him. But when you look at the offensive side, Russell Wilson, he's the fastest quarterback ever. 3 games, 14 touchdowns. They let him throw it. We all know he was a good quarterback, but this is the first year they're saying, okay, we're going to be pass first more than run first because his first 7-8 years, he never missed a game He always had great stats, but they were a run first team. The year that they're finally letting him throw, he's stepping up to the plate. That defense has to step up too, though. You know Russell Wilson's going to do his job, but can his defense get us some stops? That's the only question I have with this Dogs team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree too. Big Shaw?
Yes, sir. You gotta get a pass rush, man. You got to get you a when they let go, Clowney. I was like, well, who's gonna step up? Then Bruce Irvin went down. Man, you gotta get you a pass rusher. In the secondary, you got teams going in there throwing the ball all over them. If they want to get, if they want to get to the next level, which they will, you got to get a good secondary, and they will have problems against Aaron Rodgers. But for right now, they need to get a pass rusher real bad.
Yes, sir.
And on the offensive line, Russell Wilson, he's doing his thing. He's a bad man. He's a very, very bad man. And when they get to the playoffs, he's gonna be even bad of a man because he's gonna show up. If he gets to the Super Bowl and win it, he's gonna get the MVP trophy.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's my MVP favorite. He always had a bad offensive line, but he never missed a game. So I think he's by far the front runner for this MVP, and I think he's going to continue to play like that for the rest of the year.
One thing about Russell Wilson is that he's never had an MVP vote.
I think that's disrespectful, but with that offense and them being run first, but still, I can't even say that because he's always had great stats. And literally, without him, this team would be trash. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Trash. So I feel like when they say this is another thing. When you say most valuable player, how you not vote a guy that's arguably the most valuable? He's one of the most valuable guys to his team. That's absurd to me. So this year, if he plays like the way he's playing it, and somebody else gets it, I'm gonna be stunned.
Freddie.
Well, you might as well get stunned. He's not getting MVP. He'll get some votes, but he won't be MVP. Who will be MVP? Who's going to be the best NFC? And who's going to make it to the Super Bowl? Is that bad man? And Aaron Rodgers. Y'all saw him last night going against that New Orleans without a Devontae Adams, without a Michael Thomas playing. You saw him with a Kamara going off. You saw Drew Brees doing his thing. But guess what? At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers thing. So looking like he looked back in the day in 2012, back in them days, in his MVP days when he won a Super Bowl. I mean, this dude is his QBR over the last 3 games is 121.1. This dude has got 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He's looking like he's about to repeat last year, might even do better than last year. When he had an off season by Aaron Rodgers standards, had 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions last year, and that was a bad year.
Okay.
What did he say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me finish. And then this dude, you talking about a dude that does not have a lack of talent around him, by the way. This dude have a chip on his shoulder. He's pissed off. He's doing his thing week in and week out. This dude arguably might have the best record at the end of the year. I have them going 14-2. In the way I have them rated, they will go 14-2. This dude is a bad man. He's on a mission. He's making throws only him and Patrick Mahomes are making. This dude is back. This is what he's but this dude is a bad man.
Oh, no. Let him ride this delusional wave of psychosis. I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Show the world why he's still the best quarterback in the game, and it's not Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, that's cool and all, but every single throw Patrick Mahomes makes, Aaron Rodgers can make, Russell Wilson has made and can make.
Yes,
the footage is
like Aaron Rodgers, sir.
You said what?
I think a lot of people forget how good Andrew Luck was. Andrew Luck was a beat.
He got
hurt.
He got hurt.
I'm mad he retired. But they finally, right now, they have the best offensive line in the league, and now,
Andrew Luck was a beast, man. People understand his vision.
He was a different specimen, man.
His field vision was on point. The only thing that screwed over Andrew Luck was his injuries. If he hadn't had those injuries, if he'd been healthy, I'm telling you, man. You think Rodgers?
Andrew Luck was a bad boy, yo.
He's still been better than Luck.
Okay.
In my opinion. He's a bad man.
Hey, with that opinion, I could probably buy a pop of Coca-Cola.
So I agree with one thing you said. Only one out of that whole.
You should agree with everything I said.
Why?
The only thing I
They
agree.
bucking the system.
The only thing I agree with is that the Packers will win this. Going to be making it to the Super Bowl this year. Winning it,
Hey, come
I
on,
don't
Nate.
know.
Look
I
at
don't know.
Reality.
last year. They was one game away from the Super Bowl. Why can't you see that they took a step forward?
Off of a new head coach.
I don't see the Packers making the Super Bowl. I really don't.
Well, who do you see?
Really don't.
Cowboys. Who do you see? Not the Cowboys.
I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to be there. I'm not saying that they're not either. I
You,
don't. Cowboys still have work to do. I think that secondary of the Cowboys has a lot of work to do, much like Seattle. But I think Seattle with a Russell Wilson, that's a bad. Hey, look, that's a bad combination. That's a bad.
I can
Tyler
see
Lockett,
Seattle
DK
making it too,
Metcalf.
but
Come on, and we haven't even gotten Josh Gordon yet. He's coming back too. Are you
Thank
kidding
you.
me?
if Seattle stay healthy, you see how Jamal Adams yesterday went down. Can they stay healthy? That's the question.
That's every single team in the NFL. The NFL
He's banged up right now.
Hey, look at the
that's every single
49ers.
team. That's every single
Yeah,
player.
they're dead.
don't act like the Seattle Seahawks the only team in the world to get injured. Every team deals with injuries.
Look at the 49ers, for example.
If we go compare this team, look at last year. Green Bay was probably one of the most healthiest team in the National Football League. This Seattle team already did battle with injuries.
They didn't win
Green
anything.
Bay was probably the
One
worst
team
13-3 team last year.
They didn't win anything. It was 13-3 last year, Chris.
Crazy thing is, when I throw that stat out and stuff, I'm not even gonna go into what I gotta go into. Go ahead.
Put some respect on their name. It was 13-3.
You got it,
Yeah,
but
but it's
I don't
probably
even
the
want
worst
to argue with you no more
13-3
because
team, like,
you
ever.
just you're such a back and forth type of arguer. man.
How am I back and forth?
When I would throw that stats and stuff at you, you would say all these other things, but when it works good with your argument, you love saying it. That's all I gotta say. Let's move on, Nate.
Hey, is it just me or is Chris and Freddie like an old married couple that needs some kind of
Oh,
counseling?
yeah, they go ahead. They go ahead.
Y'all need some counseling, Dr. Phil.
Well, we need counseling from you.
That's okay. So the next question, we got to talk about this game: the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. Kansas City's winning 27-10.
Ooh.
That's not something I expected. I said on yesterday's post game show that Kansas City was going to win this game 48-44. And they've only scored 10 points in what? It's the third quarter? Yeah, no. I'm gonna eat this humble cookie right now.
I will say this though, the game's still early, so don't
Yeah, don't count out the Ravens.
yeah, the game's still early is all I'm gonna say.
Nate, you might want to eat about 10 more cookies, man, because you got a lot of weight to gain over there. And why you got a Dallas Cowboys shirt on? I thought you were a Denver Broncos fan.
That's disrespectful.
I mean, I'm glad you support the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong. I just thought you were a Denver Broncos fan.
He got to chew his food up real quick.
Yeah, that's okay. He needs those 27 chew bites to make sure he properly digests.
Oh, man.
You missed it. I covered here early on the show. I said that I grew up with Cowboy and Broncos fans.
I know you grew up, but you're still a Broncos fan for the Cowboys jersey. We love it, but dang.
Yeah,
I wear
That's why I said
Cowboys
Freddie
uniform.
B
Just,
goes up
I
to
wear
Marcus
Cowboys gear just like I wear Broncos stuff.
jersey.
Hey, my big deal on this game is I'm very disappointed in one of my fantasy league. I have Lamar Jackson as my quarterback. He gave me 3 points. 3.
game's not over though. The game. That's
Game's
all.
not over.
I lost tonight by
Lamar
40
to pull
points.
up
This
the fourth
sucks.
quarter comeback.
I needed 35 points from this dude. 35. And he has 3.
Well,
Oh,
I needed about 8 more points from Waller with the Raiders, and I didn't get it. And that's why I'm going to lose tonight. I'm going to lose by 8 because I didn't get the 8 points from Waller.
Now I
It
will
is
say
what
though,
it is, man.
I will say though that I did beat Ace even with tonight's game because Ace is already
Yes,
finished.
if my sister could beat Ace, that ain't saying much.
And I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Travis Kelce on my team, so
That's not a bad pairing to have. That's not bad.
man, we got to give credit to this Chiefs defense. This Chiefs defense have so far stepped up to the plate.
I believe that. I mean, the Chiefs are looking
Oh
really
my
good.
god!
I mean,
I'm sorry. I was just looking at a play.
We had to
I
get.
know. Hey, them Chiefs, man. Hey, they playing lights out right now. They really are. They had a little struggle with the Chargers. It is what it was, right? I mean, they're gonna have even when they fumble, they still win. And a win, even if it's ugly, is still a win.
A W's a W. You can win 2-0.
Yeah, I mean,
A win is a win. You know, this Chiefs team, I did pick Baltimore winning, but I said it was nothing against the Kansas City Chiefs. I just thought it was going to be a good game, and I just leaned towards Baltimore. It was not saying that the Kansas City Chiefs team is trash. Oh, they won the Super Bowl last year.
People
They're
keep
legit.
about Lamar Jackson. Look, I like Lamar. Lamar's a good
I
player.
didn't pick them to win because of Lamar. I thought their defense had a great game.
But I really think that Lamar's lack of a true passing game is still kind of what's hurting Baltimore all the way around.
But I don't put that on Lamar though, because this is what I said. Lamar has stepped up and became a better passer, but when you don't have a dominant receiver, then everybody knows you're going to give it to those two tight ends. Like, to me, if they had a number one receiver in that team, I think they'd be playing a lot better. But the fact that your two best receivers are tight ends, I mean, that's a problem. Like, I think they need a real threat on the outside for them to be better than what they're showing right now.
Chris, is that something that you think that they're going to go for this offseason?
I mean, to be honest, they should try to go for it right now because they're in win now mode. It's not wait until next year. No, this team is hungry.
Yeah,
They need to go out and all these free agent guys that are up. If you don't want to go out and trade for nobody, there's a lot of guys that are up. They're free agents right now. Like talking about they're now on the team currently. They can go sign, but even that, you still need to go out and try to make a trade. Like I know teams don't trade in the division, but go try to get an Odell. Go try to get something. You need a number one receiver right there with Lamar Jackson. Having two tight ends and then running the ball, I'm not saying that it's easy to guard, but I mean, you see what Kansas City is doing right now, is all I'm going to say.
It's pretty predictable.
Yeah, I just think they need a true weapon because I don't think Lamar is that bad of a passer. But I think
who thinks? Okay, I got a question. One, who in the NFC do you think matches the best for KC to take them out? And if they do get to the Super Bowl, what AFC team do you think matches the best with KC?
It's the Green Bay Packers.
It's either Green Bay or Seattle.
Yeah,
either one of those two.
It's a couple teams I think that can honestly, Green Bay they have firepower and they have a very very good defense. Seattle has the firepower. New Orleans when they're clicking on all cylinders, they're a good football club. Same thing with the Buccaneers. But right now my top two would have to be the no order, but it had to be the Seahawks and the Packers. And then out of AFC, I mean it's the Ravens, and then like some team might have it going on run like. Tennessee right now, they're struggling. But other than the Ravens, Houston's out of it. And then the Broncos, to me, are too hurt. The Patriots, I don't think they can beat even though they play them in the regular season, I don't know if they're going to be able to beat them in the playoffs. So it's tough. It's not a lot. Like Kansas City's legit. A team not only have to have a great offensive game, but
that's the case. And saying what you're saying, if that's the case, do you think Kansas City is going to be the next Patriots, the next dynasty because of that?
They have I will say this, they have right now how they're constructed, how they got most of their nucleus signed up, and how I think if somehow the receivers don't stay, which they're all young, I seen them saying. Any receiver is going to want to go play with a gunslinger like that. He's a great guy. Andy Reid's a great coach. Defensive guys are going to want to sign there if the money's right, especially veterans. They have an opportunity to be the next dynasty. And I think out of anybody in the league right now, they're showing that they're the best to do it, and they've already proven it. So I have to agree with you. About the team right now, I'd have to go with Kansas City Chiefs being the next dynasty.
So this is the best situation Andy Reid could have ever stepped into.
Yeah, but he was a great head coach in Philly, but you just gave him a young gun like this. Even though when they had Alex Smith and everything, Alex Smith, don't get me wrong, is a very good quarterback. But you added Patrick Mahomes, then you add all these weapons on the outside. Like this is one of the you said greatest show on turf.
Oh yeah. Let me ask Alex real quick. Do you think that he should be the comeback player of the year, given what he went through and the fact that he made the 53-man roster? How is that not a comeback, especially with that injury that he got?
Alex Smith
back from?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I do. Oh, listen, he tore. I know I wasn't allowed to see it, but like if y'all don't know, I'm a sports guru. I can't. What was his name? Theismann.
Theismann.
The same type of injury. Theismann didn't come back and ultimately ended his career.
Theismann came back, but he didn't make the roster.
His career was his career was never the same.
Because this dude almost lost his leg. They were talking about
amputating it, and now he made the roster. And I honestly believe, one day he's going to see the NFL field again. Alex Smith was a very good quarterback. People say that game manager stuff, but game managers, what do? They win games. So you can throw that crap. You can say that, but he was a very good quarterback at the end of the day. And I believe one day he'll see the field again. And I do think he should be, up there when you talk about comeback player of the years, because you're talking about a guy, like you said, whose leg was supposed to be amputated. Now he made a 53-man roster with healthy guys that don't.
He's lucky to even be alive.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah. When you got an amputated leg and all them infections and stuff like that, it gets nasty. The fact that
I see a future movie, a blockbuster movie about Alex Smith's life. And what he would, it might be a movie about that or a biopic or something
on Netflix or something like that. Okay, so moving on, we have our next topic, and that is thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now I'm gonna give this one to Chris first. I'm gonna give this one
about
to
that hurt feelings.
Now I will say this. You're giving me a humble pie, but it's only been 3 games, so I don't, understand your logic here. But, unlike Freddie, I'm not a delusional fan. I'm going to keep it real. My team is playing
the Bengals.
Yeah, I understand things happen. It's the NFL. Anybody can win at any given game. Did I expect this to be 0-2-1? Heck no. Am I mad completely? Am I disappointed? Yes. But am I going to say the season is over? No. I'm not going to go that far and say after the first 3 games our season over. Hey, Eagles has always been a second half, the season type of football club. We always get, Alshon Jeffrey's coming back. I think that's going to help us a lot. We got defenders coming back. We got offensive guy, Jalen Reagor's out. Our number 1 draft pick in the first round, our explosive wide receiver, is going for 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to be a problem. I think we missed him. But it's a lot of blame right now. It's a lot of things that Philly are doing wrong. I think the play calling is trash. I think going away from the run is a mistake. When the Bengals could not touch Miles Sanders, he ran for 95 yards on 18 attempts. We barely even established the run, but when we did, they couldn't stop it. I think us not running the ball is a problem. You look at the year we won the Super Bowl, we were run, to run and set up the pass. Right now, we just want to go for big play after big play. And we look at our receivers, Deshaun Jackson always banged up. Now everybody else is like the same receiving core from last year. Young, unexperienced guys. You got 2 tight ends. The one of them is hurt, but Zach Ertz not getting enough targets he needs to be getting. We need to be running the ball. I'm disappointed right now in the play calling. The defense stepped up this game. I'm disappointed in Carson Wentz. I'm going to be honest. He's playing like one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he has 6 interceptions right now in 3 games. He's on pace to throw for 30-plus interceptions. That's unacceptable from a starting quarterback that's being paid that much money. And I'm not making no excuse for him, but these are some things that I think is playing in big effect why we're this bad. Having no preseason and having a shortened training camp. When you add all these key guys in new key positions and they don't have the time to get adapted and learn the system is good, then we're going to have learning pains. Now, should we beat the Redskins? Yeah, the Washington football team. Yes, we were up 17-0 and then let them score 27 unanswered. The Rams completely dominated us, so that's an L. And should we beat this Bengals team? Yes. You're tripping right there, whoever said that. I'm not even going to entertain that. But when we should we beat the Bengals? Yes. Yeah, it was 4th and 12 on their 41. It would have been a long field goal. We couldn't take a field goal because Matt Pryor decided to jump off sides, get a false start. When that would have been a game-winning field goal, we could have got that stressful, disgusting game behind us. But it's 4th and 12, and Doug Peterson decides to punt. When he goes for it on 4th down in the Super Bowl, when he does Philly in the Super Bowl against the freaking Bengals, this dude doesn't go for it on 4th down. I think that's outright embarrassing, and that's outright disappointing. But I'm going to just entertain that comment. How are we not a contender when we won the Super Bowl when he was, the best quarterback that year? That don't make no sense.
Not in the playoffs. He didn't play, sir.
Okay, but who led us to the playoffs? And talking to another delusional football guy. If nobody in the NFL could have was stopping him the entire year, we were one of the best offenses, putting up 30 points. You think the Falcons would have stopped us when Nick Foles did what he wanted? Think the Vikings would have stopped us when Nick Foles did what he wanted? You think the Patriots would have stopped us if Nick Foles did what he wanted? You're making no sense. Let's be realistic. It was our year. It was his season. Everybody in the league knows. Yeah, Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. Who got us there? Y'all acting like, first of all, everybody's acting like Nick Foles is such a great quarterback. The dude is a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He has great games. He's no franchise guy. So Jake Jollymore, what I want you to do is not Jollymore and go to sleep because you're making no sense. Like because the guy, like, yeah, I
Chris, you're
understand.
the one that's not making any sense.
Okay, so if a quarterback leads you to the Super Bowl and he doesn't get no credit for it, answer me this: did any team stop us? We were the best team in the league.
Chris, we can't say what he
About the previous
we don't know
years,
what he done.
that makes sense. This year,
So no quarterback has ever had a bad start to a year. You saying every single great quarterback played great every single year? That's what
What I'm saying is we don't know what he would have done in the playoffs because that's what he's always
in
heard.
the first
He's not
game.
available.
Okay, so listen, we were talking about this year. Y'all want to keep bringing up the past and the unavailability. I understand are worse than Cowboys fans. We probably
Oh,
are.
man.
We love you one day and we hate you another. I'm not going to agree with that. But we were talking about this year, and I agree with y'all. This year, he's playing like the worst starting quarterback. But when you want to talk about these freak injuries, like injuries aren't a part of a game, like Jadeveon Clowney did a headbutt him, and I was sending a clip in the chat. Freddie, you're Aaron Rodgers guy. If that happens to Aaron Rodgers, he's out for the game. You love Daniel Jones. It happens to Daniel Jones. He's out for the game. McLovin, you love the Cowboys. If that happens to Dak, he's out for the game. You love the Browns for some reason, Big Show. I'm not mad at you. They're better than my Eagles. If that happened to Baker Mayfield, he's out for the game. You love Drew Lock. Where is he at? Hurt. But if that happened to him, he's out for the game.
But Chris, it does not matter.
I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking.
So you can't say what this dude might do in the playoffs. We get to
I'm
see
not done talking because the question was for this season, and y'all keep want to bring up the past stuff. He has a ring. Does your quarterback Daniel Jones have a ring?
It wasn't him. It was because of Nick Foles.
Second season.
It was because of Nick
Third
Foles.
season.
He
Yeah,
wouldn't
second
have
season.
been there without Carson Wentz. You seen when Nick Foles started the rest of the year. Did he get us to the Super Bowl that year he started the previous year? No.
It was for Nick Foles. He had 2 big playoff runs while he was in Philadelphia.
He had one. He had one. He had one. He had
No,
one.
bro. Even when he got hurt, hit in the head. When that dude hurt Carson Wentz last year, Nick Foles came in there and had a few big
Foles
games.
wasn't even on the team. So what are you talking about? Learn your
I'm
facts.
talking about the year when he got hurt, he had that concussion or whatever. Nick Foles came in there and saved the day again.
When? Tell me the facts of what you're saying. Because
I look it up and send it to you. I look it up and send it to you. I understand that you sad that you go for a mediocre team. I understand
You
that.
are a Giants fan, my guy.
I'm a Giants fan. I didn't put my Giants down for the rest of the year. I'm going for Green Bay.
Okay, so if that's the case, half of my family are Baltimore Ravens fans. I'm just going to root for the Ravens since we get to switch teams like this. How you go from one team to another? I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson. Hey, I'm a Ravens fan now.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
Aaron
kind of agree
Rodgers.
with Chris's point on that.
Hey, I like all these quarterbacks. Let me root for them. You're a bandwagon, Freddie. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not a bandwagon.
Ring that Foles won for him. You lost me
This-
there. So you mean to tell me Jake Jollymore, the greatest sports debater on earth, if Nick Foles was starting that entire year, we would have won a Super Bowl? Please answer me that.
We don't know. We don't know. He might have.
I don't know because Nick Foles has been a starter and never led his team to the Super Bowl. So
But it could have been that year, Chris. We
No.
think he did. Don't discredit him what he did in the playoffs.
I'm not
He
saying
still
making it seem like Carson Wentz, then it wasn't his job that got us there. Everybody in the league knows it. So if you think I'm going to listen to a guy that last name is Jollymore, you out your mind. Freddie, if you think I'm gonna listen to you, and you're a Giants fan, you say Eli Manning is the best quarterback in the world, you out your mind.
he better than Carson Wentz. He
Listen,
better than Carson Wentz. He's better than Carson Wentz.
sorry.
Eli Manning is basically a Jay Cutler who has twice
Super
as
Bowl
much of a
ring.
career
Exactly.
and 2 Super Bowl
He
wins.
lied for it.
So I agree with Chris on that.
Carson
So
Wentz.
what you've been saying about the Eagles,
Okay, Jake Jollymore. I'm not playing a what if. I'm stating facts. In the regular season,
What if, Chris?
in the regular season, who was the most dominant quarterback that year? Carson Wentz. Can anybody stop him? No.
What if? What are you talking about?
Who? I'm asking him. Answer me this. That year we won the Super Bowl. Who was the most dominant quarterback
During the season or the playoffs?
during the season?
Well, the season, Carson Wentz. But what about the playoffs? He was not available.
Somebody took his knee out, please. So when Aaron Rodgers get hurt, he's just like when somebody takes your knee out, Freddie. I don't know if you play sports, but I'm gonna tell you, when somebody goes right at your knee is done. When somebody heads a bunch of like he did against the Seahawks, you having a concussion, my guy.
But what? He wasn't able to prove his worth. He was not available to prove his worth. Nick Foles.
year when he brought a bunch of nobodies to the playoffs, that wasn't him proving his worth. I understand he's having a bad year, but don't act like your beloved Eli Manning has had a great year every single
He's
season.
better than Carson Wentz. You can do that. He's better than Carson Wentz. Because guess what? He's always available.
Okay, Freddie, I disagree with that.
The worst
It's only been
behind the worst.
5 years of his career. So how you want to say he's better than him? He's
Let me tell you. I'm about to tell you right now. I'm about to tell you right now.
trash, dog. You really think he's not even better than his dad or his nephew?
Listen, I'm about to tell you right now. I'm about to tell you right now.
You need to stop it. You need to stop being a bandwagon and go from the.
Can I tell you right now, sir?
Well, no, I'm not done talking because if Saquon wasn't hurt, you would be, oh, the Giants this, the Giants that. But just because Saquon's hurt, you're now a Packers fan.
I'm a realist. My season's over.
I'm going to say that he didn't do that. When Saquon got hurt, he was off the Giants, Bears,
Yeah, like how you gonna do that? So
I give you that. So your season over.
So now you're the biggest Packers fan in the world. Listen, I love Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid was one of the best coaches in Eagles history. I'm a Chiefs fan. Because that's what you're doing right now. Because that's what you're doing. Because so I'm a Chiefs fan.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm gonna tell you
goes down. What, are you going to jump the bandwagon to
That's a good
something
question.
like that?
If Aaron Rodgers goes down, who's your team now? You just going to jump ship like you do every single time a great player.
Don't jump ship every time.
You literally just said, "Oh my God, my team is done, so let me go to the Packers."
It is done. It is done.
Not jumping ship from being a fan. Of the Giants.
He's played 3 games.
I'm being a realist. My team is done. They say they better not win another game.
But now you're a Packers fan.
I'm not counting any team out, including every single one on 3 teams.
Nate, I cannot let this point go. That Chris said that Eli Manning, that Carson Wentz is better than Eli Manning. Listen,
That's
true.
just a minute ago. Now,
I don't remember. I just remember shooting shots at Eli Manning because you love him and saying he's the best quarterback. Now, we're not even going to talk about this because we did it before.
no, I need to talk about this. I need to prove my point.
Nobody cares. Everybody knows your delusional point. Nobody cares.
My point. Eli Manning played by one of the worst offensive
Force.
always available.
Freddie.
Available. As many that man took, he was always available. He won.
You're the only person in the world.
The playoff winning 2 Super Bowls.
Please time out because he keep talking about nobody cares. The question was your thoughts on the Eagles. I said they've been playing like trash and they look like trash. Is everybody going to agree? Yes. So what's the point to keep talking about this no more? We're 0-2-1. We lost to the Bengals in the football
Put
team.
this into the category of part 2.
But
The
at
next
the end of the
equal
day,
to this
the
show.
season isn't over. It's been 3 games out of a 16-game season. So am I going to give faith and jump ship like Mr. Freddie Henderson from Team? I'm going to ride out with my team, and we're going to see.
I will say this. Let me say this. We've been listening to a lot of good commentary tonight, and I'm going to say this to you there, Mr. Chris. Look, guy, ain't nobody expecting you to jump ship because that would mean you're not a true fan. I hate to tell you this. You tied the Bengals.
Oh, it's the worst game I've ever
You
seen in my life.
tied the Bengals, and you
The
might as well
Bengals were the worst team last year.
Hold on, Chris. Give me a minute, man.
Oh,
Now,
no, I
I was
feel you.
quiet. I
I'm
didn't
really
say nothing. I just need a few seconds here. Listen, you tied the Bengals. Yes, your season's over. I'm sorry. It just is. It's time to bring. Just like Chicago brought in Foles to replace Trubisky. You need to start looking at Jalen Hurts. And it is what it is. And
So,
you
I got a question.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
If you can ask
I
one
just got a simple question.
Let me just ask real quick, and then you can say whatever you want to say after the question. Listen, guys, sometimes you got to go to part 2. And that's one of them conversations where you just got to go to part 2. But go ahead and ask your question before we go to part 2. Nate, you got to take control, baby. You the moderator. Step up, grab the cojones, and let's go.
I agree with everything you said. We tied to the Bengals. I blame Doug Peterson and the play caller and Carson Wentz. But my thing is we're 0-2-1, right?
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys, but they're 1-2. And you know, Dak Prescott is being Dak Prescott. It has big stats when the game doesn't matter. Would you look to start Andy Dalton? Because listen, when it comes to Eagles, I just want to say that. But when it comes to the Eagles, almost every single Eagles fan was crying and complaining that we drafted Jalen Hurts, saying we didn't need him. but now Carson Wentz had 3 bad games. You know, whoever said that Eagles fans are worse than Cowboys, you may be right because we love you one day and hate you another. Now everybody hates Carson Wentz, but when he goes and he brings this team and we fight to get into the playoffs,
I hear what you're saying, Chris Brown, but you gotta look at the facts too, right? Watch this.
We paid him too much money to bench him this early, though.
Hold on a minute. Let's take our personal hat off and let's put our unbiased hat on. And our unbiased hat knows a couple of key facts. If you told me that Dak Prescott was always hurt and never made it to the playoffs, number one, and number two, when he did play now, the redemption year, and he's healthy, and he has 3 bad games and it's trending in a downward spiral, I would replace Dak and throw in Dalton because Dalton's a hell of a good quarterback and he can right our ship. Yes, I would do it.
You know what else?
My thing is, I feel you, but I'm biased.
He's got a great quarterback right now and Hurts. He needs maybe a little bit of development, but let me tell you something. Hurts will probably give you a better year because he can run. And let's be honest, your Eagles' offensive line, hey, they're hurt.
Rushing
offensive tackle for the year. Let's be honest, torn ACL, whatever it was, he's gone. So you need a guy who can run and still pass the ball, and who has class and who has a competitive spirit. And all 4 things Jalen Hurts possesses.
I feel you though, but Wentz has 65 rushing yards, and my unbiased hat is off. I'm not biased when it comes to my.
Oh no, Bubba, you're so biased. It's like raining all over the walls.
But listen, it might be true. But when you just paid a quarterback that much money, you're going to bench him after 3 games. I never seen a team do that. That's my thing. I never seen.
No, I wouldn't bench him. I would trade him.
I never seen the team do that either. But
when you come with the Philadelphia Eagles, they have a lot of expectations of the team that went to the Super Bowl and been relevant ever since after that.
Every great organization have great expectations.
Down, you will put Hurts in there, and you might put a spark like Nick Foles put a spark on this Philadelphia Eagles team. You should have in my opinion.
Mr. Daniel Jones has been playing like hot garbage, and so is the Giants with all those weapons that you have. Daniel Jones.
Don't put Daniel Jones and in the same class. Your Philadelphia
neither of them have a victory. You said they were the best team in
y'all had the best expectations than we did, Chris. You sound like a Cowboy fan.
You out your mouth. You said they were the best team in the NFC.
Chris, it don't matter what I said. Don't you make that argument because you had more expectations than we did.
How you saying it don't matter what you say in the debate? I'm going.
Let's hear from Big Shot's point about this Eagle situation.
Is Big Shot still here? I thought he fell asleep.
I was watching the game.
I would be too.
I mean, the Eagles. I mean, I'm not gonna count out the Eagles yet. I did have to win that division. They need an offensive line, man. And they got to protect Carson Wentz, because if they don't, he's going to get hurt again. But I would say start getting Jalen Hurts ready, though. That's me. I say start getting him some reps in. If you want to win and keep going forward and try to get the division, I think Hurts will do a good job, but you got to get the offensive line. And, when they start running the ball, I was like, man, you got to keep running the ball. But they went away from it. But at the end of the day, man, you got to protect your quarterback. But you got to tie with the Bengals. That's the only thing. That's the only problem. And then beside with the Cincinnati Bengals.
But I'm not not the rock group or the pop group, but the football team, the Bengals. Walk like an Egyptian.
How do you tie with the Bengals?
The freaking Bengals.
Okay.
Look your face, Chris.
Let's move on. Okay.
I'm sorry.
What can the Clippers do?
The freaking Bengals.
What can the Clippers do to become?
My mama can beat the Bengals. I think the YMCA club team.
Hey, calm down.
You get the complimentary trophy for last place.
Calm down.
Okay, I'm done. I was holding that in. I'm done now.
Okay, what can the Clippers do to become a true contender?
What was that question?
What can the Clippers do to become a true contender? Jay, go first.
Don't copy the game plan that the Eagles have. Okay, I'm sorry. That was my last.
Now I gotta address this. Jay, your team's 1-2. Freddie, your team
Hey,
has 0-1.
listen, we didn't listen to
So
Bengals. You
but
can't say nothing to me right now.
I can say a lot. Your team is
We got the
1-2.
consolatory prize. Stop it.
Your team's
Hey,
1-2.
What about the Clippers?
The Giants haven't played the Bengals yet.
Hey,
Hey, I'm not about my time.
And the Giants just lost to a team full of backup. I don't know why you laughing either.
Chris, be like me. Say it.
that can't work.
Why
I'm
does
Why
the
am I
same
going to say
time?
my team's
sorry.
done?
I'm sorry,
Your
Nate.
Eagles haven't played the 49ers yet, so you guys might lose to a backup.
My team is done.
But I'm not going to say my team's done after 3 games.
Hey, calm
That's
down.
the team that
I'm
doesn't
out.
believe in the
I'm
squad.
out. I'm out. I'm sorry, Nate. I kind of screwed that up. I got these guys started again. I'm sorry. What do I think the Clippers need to do? Number
Yeah.
one, you should have fired Doc Rivers. He wasn't your issue. Number two, you're going to have to figure out a solution for all them picks you gave up for Paul George and figure out what really is going on because Paul George cost you quite a bit. So what do I think they need to do? I think they need to go back and revamp this roster, and they're going to have to go back to the drawing board because I don't think Kawhi is a great guy. Everybody on that team's great. Paul George, he's either hot or he's cold. But when he's cold, he's really cold. And he was cold throughout the whole playoffs except for maybe 1 or 2 games. So you got to figure out what to do with Paul George, number one, how to either fix him or get rid of him. And number two, you got to figure out a coach that's going to come in here and be able to compete on a high level like Doc Rivers that you got rid of did.
Ready?
You know, honestly, I mean, I was shocked by the firing of Doc Rivers, but I wasn't because I mean, I understand why they got rid of him. I mean, he's been there 7 years, have never went to the Western Conference Finals, and he's had pretty much good talent ever since he's been there. He had a Chris Paul, a Blake Griffin, a DeAndre Jordan, a JJ Redick, a Jamal Crawford, and them boys. And now he have a Kawhi Leonard and a Paul George. So honestly, but you fire him. But what coach are you going to get now? Are you going to promote Tyronn Lue to the head coach? Are you going to bring in a Mike D'Antoni? I don't think so.
Hell no. If you're smart, you're bringing Mark Jackson.
Yes, I would like to see a Mark Jackson over there, a defensive-minded coach over there. But, you know, what I think they need to do, they need to get a true big man. They get a true big man, and then they get a true point guard. Patrick Beverly, in my opinion, was he was very overrated. The dude was not a – if you can get a true point guard like a Rondo, I'm not saying Rondo's one of them. I'm talking about a player of Rondo's caliber, somebody who can get people more get them involved when you have a Paul George struggling who could maybe make it a little bit easier for him. And then, I mean, those are the first few moves that I would make.
Okay, Bishop.
Well, Doc Rivers, he been had that firing coming a long time ago. You know, when you got, Chris Paul and, DeAndre Jordan and guys like that, man, you still can't make it, past the, the other rounds. Man, it all starts with the coach, and the higher ups too. You gotta, figure out the problem. And Doc Rivers was one of the problems. But now you got to figure out now, who's going to get in the coach. And I think Mark Jackson would be a good fit. I'm not going to say San Francisco. I think he's going to Houston. That's just my thought. But the Clippers, they got to figure it out, man. Before it just starts up again.
I think the Clippers should go for Mark Jackson, but I also think they should probably get another big man, maybe a third superstar on that team.
A third superstar.
Oh. Oh no.
So.
I don't know.
Okay, Chris.
I think we'd all like to see Mark Jackson in the league, but
That ain't gonna happen.
I don't think he's ever going to get
He's
another head coach and job again.
Why did you do that?
Yeah,
You did because
but,
Mark Jackson doesn't want to coach again, or you?
No,
He's
the
blackballed.
league. No, but yeah, the league. It's a whole bunch of blackballing going on with Mark Jackson. But I think if he got the opportunity, of course he's going to take it. But it's a reason why he hasn't gotten an opportunity. It's not because he did great things in Golden State, but I think you have two head coaches as assistants right now with Tyronn Lue, Sam Cassell. So I don't know if you go out and you go look for somebody else. We have a Tyronn Lue who's led a team to a championship before. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's their new head coach, or even Sam Cassell, who's been years there as as an assistant. I don't know if you go and you look out. I think you hire within. But then when you talk about players that they need, I think they do need a point guard, because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they're not point guards. They're guys that are off the ball. You need somebody who's going to put them in the best spots for them to succeed. And I also agree. I think they need a dominant big man. Not saying he has to be a post scorer, but I mean a guy that can hold down the paint, like a Steven Adams type. Steven Adams is not going to give you 30. What he's going to do is he's going to guard the paint and he's going to get rebounds when you need him.
Why do you think Mark Jackson been blackballed? What's going on with that I'm not seeing?
It's some religious things. We can get to it. We can get into it off there.
That's crazy.
Before we go any further, I don't see Tyronn Lue becoming the head coach of this team. I hope not, because Kawhi Leonard's not the leader enough to lead this team. Everybody know when Ty Lue was in Cleveland, we knew who was running that team. It was LeBron James. Ty Lue wasn't doing that much coaching.
No, I disagree with you right there, because even Kevin Love said Tyronn Lue made his presence felt in the playoffs. I'm sorry, every great player needs a great coach. It wouldn't be no Kobe and Shaq and Michael Jordan and Scottie without Phil Jackson. What Tyronn Lue is,
we not put him in the same caliber of Phil Jackson. He ain't no great coach, sir.
I'm not saying he's the best great head coach, but you need a great head coach to win a championship. You're not just going to take no ill-witty, silly head coach. Why you think David Blatt didn't work over there? Tyronn Lue is a great fit. He knows his X's and O's now. Don't disrespect this man and the great job he did in Cleveland. Just saying, LeBron had other coaches and still didn't win. So put respect on Tyronn Lue's name. I think
Tyronn Lue let LeBron have his way. That's why he was the coach.
Okay, you think what you want, Mr. Delusional, but everybody, if an NBA player said, if all these NBA players say one thing about the coach, why would I listen to you when you don't play the game?
Because they're trying to cover it up for LeBron.
Okay.
Everybody knows that. They're trying to cover it up for him.
Okay.
Hey, that's not true. Freddie tried to play one time. He fell down, hurt his knee. He ain't been back since. Leave him alone.
Yeah. My jumper was wet, by the way.
Okay. So we do have one more question. And that is, do you want to see the Greek Freak in the Golden State Warriors? And I think I know what Freddie's answer to this is, and it's probably the same as mine. And that is because of the teams that we are a fan of. No.
No, it's not by the fandom of the team I like. Hell no. I'm kind of like I'm loving this style of basketball again, man. I'm loving these duos things. Back to the old school. Back to like Michael and Scottie, Magic and Kareem, Kobe and Shaq, Bird and McHale, and all these boys. Now you have LeBron and AD. You have Kawhi and Paul George. I love these duos. Back to these old school basketball. I hate it, man. I hated watching basketball when KD was with Golden State, man. It was not interesting at all. It was not fair. I mean, everybody.
Rockets almost beat them. It was interesting to watch. Now the Rockets had
they took him to Game 7. And let me tell you something: if Chris Paul hadn't been hurt,
they would have won.
That crap.
But we knew it was dang nearly impossible for that team to be beat. And it would be the same thing you had Giannis to this Golden State Warrior team with two of the greatest shooting backcourts of all time. I don't want to see that, me personally.
I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see that. No, I wouldn't want to see it.
Is that the same for all of us?
Yeah.
Not to see him in Miami.
I think if he was to leave, I think the best fit for him would be, you could say Golden State, but I'd love to see him in Dallas actually. But why go out and leave? You stay in the East. Everybody says the Eastern Conference is quote unquote the weakest conference, which is not about to be next year. First of all, both conferences are about to be tough. But stay in Milwaukee. You're the face of the franchise, literally. When you leave, they're not going to be the same team. They're not going to be, the best team in the league, which people said is a contender. You stay in Milwaukee, they're willing to do whatever you want to be successful. So you demand what you want. If you want a great point guard, I'm pretty sure they'll make it done. At what cost? That's up to you and the organization. You want a new head coach? I'm pretty sure they'll get it done. Giannis is the face of the franchise right now. He's not the best Buck player of all time, but right now he's the face of that
Well,
franchise.
Center was.
Thank you. I'm glad you know. But he's the face of the franchise right now. So if he wants, some great players around him, they'll make it happen. It's just the fact that does he want to be a grinder or does he want to take the easy way out? Because the easy way out, trying to go to State. In my opinion, if I'm going to State, I don't want him anyway. You're returning Steph Curry. You have Klay Thompson. Andrew Wiggins, to me, is going to fit well with a great head coach and a great system. Then you got Draymond, who I think is becoming more healthier, and he's going to have a great year. You got the number 1 pick. You go, in my opinion, you get Wiseman from Memphis. I know he had the NCAA troubles, but he's from Memphis. You go get him. Then you have by far the best starting 5 in the league.
So that was all I had. To give each.
Real quick. You know where I would like to see him go? The coaching was a big problem this year. In the playoffs, I would like that you go to a place where coaching would not be a problem, and you rejuvenate his career. You kind of make that team back relevant again. Go to the San Antonio Spurs.
I don't know.
I can see that.
I'm 50-50 on that. I don't know about the Spurs. I don't know. I think
Well,
I
if
mean,
anybody can help his career, Popovich would be one of the best ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably, but they're not going to keep the same players they have right now. Some guys will got to go. That's a sleeper pick right there. Now I think Popovich would help him, but it's I think that's. I'm not even going to say that's unlikely. That's just a good behind pick right there, Freddie. I agree with
I'm going to take it afford him because he's also going to be up for a big, enormous contract.
humongous. And
Man,
and
so they're going to see if they can financially afford to keep him. They may have to trade away some pieces.
I'm just saying, if you look at a dude, if you look at people's career, it took like I said, it took D Wade to help LeBron learn how to win. Popovich can be that D Wade and help Giannis learn how to win, teach him how to win. Because year after year, he keeps coming up short.
yeah.
So that was all I had. Give everybody 30 seconds to give their last few comments. I'm going to give this to Freddie first. What were your last 30 seconds?
Man, I just want to welcome Jay McLevin to the show. If everybody do not know, Jay McLevin is a new analyst, and he will be a new analyst to the show. So you can tune into the show Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday 8 p.m. Central. And like today, he will add the heat to this team, and we're gonna bring you good debates every night.
Jay.
Hey, again, thank you for the warm welcome to the show. I plan to bring some spice and some caliente flavor, and if I have to, I'll referee this broke-up marriage between Freddie and my boy Chris. And if I gotta find a psychologist or get us all on Dr. Phil, I'm gonna do that. Nate, I love you. Good job. My boy Big Shaw, you don't say much, but when you do speak, you got big words. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Chris.
First of all, I want to apologize to whoever Jake Jollymore is. Talking about my Eagles and my emotions did get the best of me. I'm an emotional guy when it comes to my sports. But oh no, it was a great show. I meant everything I stood by, everything I say, I mean it, and I spit the facts and the stats right behind it. But like I said, great show. Love talking sports with you guys. I gotta go, calm down because I have a headache right now. But loving
I need a beer and some sleep.
Oh man, I'm 19, can't have a beer yet. But McLovin, got him on the show, man. And I think today I took over for his wildness, hot takes. But he's probably going to take over for me next show. Freddie,
I might alternate you and me.
Yeah, Freddie. I'm not saying nothing to you, Big Shaw. You know what it is.
For real.
Nate, you know what it is. No comment. I plead the fifth on whatever, the craziness that comes out of Freddie's mouth.
Oh, geez.
Big Shaw.
Oh man, it was a great show. Freddie and Chris, they always do it, and it's great. And I love it. I sit back and I laugh, but it's nothing but love. I know I don't say much sometimes, but I just speak and
You say the real. You say the real.
Yeah, and I let it go. But it's a great show. I know I got my show coming up with Logan. pretty soon.
So tell me
And
about that, Big Sean.
yeah, October 2nd. October 2nd. We're gonna come on at 12 o'clock his time. He's on the East Coast, so it'll be So we got it together, and I will come back on this show with y'all guys. Balloon pop up. When I can, and everything's all good.
Okay, so my last few comments that I have to say is that I have two things actually. The Chiefs are still winning, but they're winning 27-20 now. They're only winning by one touchdown. And two, since we have a Cowboys fan on the show, an Eagles fan on the show, and a Giants fan who wants to be a Packers fan.
No. I think right now he is a Chiefs fan. I don't think he is considered a Giants fan anymore. So we had to put that in correction in the skeleton.
Yeah, he's not a Giants fan. You only have
not
two.
anymore. No.
You only have two
No,
more
next
NFC
one.
teams.
Wait, time out. You're not about to disrespect me on this show. I am a Giants fan, but I done put my team to rest this year because they're sorry. They're delusional.
No real fan would ever do that. And McLevin, am I lying? No
Hey, he's
real
a bandwagon. Once he go bandwagon, he'll never go back.
You don't want to say it. I'm a realist.
Like the whole
Okay, but say my team.
NFL jerseys
Look, say
in
my
his
team.
closet, and he just picks the most relevant one.
Exactly. If my team goes 15-1, am I ever going to not? I'm not going to say, "Oh, my team is done. Let me find a new team to root for." No.
I don't give up.
Sorry. Say your team sorry.
Freddie, the man just tied the Bengals, and he's still a fan. What's your excuse?
My team is hot garbage. We've been hot garbage for the last years. So guess what? I got to find something relevant.
That's the definition. You're a bandwagon. That's all I gotta say.
Call me what you want, but you can't call your team sorry.
Okay, my team playing sorry. I just said it. Am I going to switch up? No, I'm Eagles fan for life, baby. Real ones never fold. McLovin, you know. That's how we go.
30 seconds up.
Look,
Okay.
go Brown.
So, like I said,
I'm going for y'all.
Oh, how we just sneak
So-
that in, man.
so this was Brady Henderson, James McLovin, Chris Brown, Big Shaw, and I signing out for now.
Peace.
Have a good night.
Hey, what's up?
Still alive.